Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu, Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through another big leg of the quaddie this weekend at Randwick. But let's get to the quaddie of last week, 1,038, I think, for the viewers. I hope they all cashed in.
Yeah, only a few weeks in. Didn't know it was that much, Stu. Big return. Really happy with that after all the hard work. Hopefully many more to come.
And one of our producers too, Tom White, part owner in Sprite. That definitely put all the value in the quaddie.
Absolutely. Massive win by Sprite. She's a filly to watch down in Flemington for sure.
Well, you've said Flemington, but it's Cox Plate Day tomorrow down in Melbourne. Let's have a quick look there. Winks, anything stopping her?
Absolutely not. I mean, the thing about Winks is she rates similarly on form ratings to Hartnell, but she corners well around the valley. She loves a soft track. She's going to be so hard to beat, isn't she?
Oh, I just can't wait to watch it. But look, we've got a lot of racing in Randwick to get through before the Cox Plate, and the race day's setting up with a bit of rain around in Sydney. Yeah,
it's really hard to predict the conditions on Saturday. There's a bit of rain forecast on Saturday, like you said. So let's look at the race conditions for the first leg of the quaddie on Saturday and get started with this deep analysis. A 2,000 metre race, a steady tempo for this first leg of the quaddie. Look, a good 4 to soft 6 is the forecast, but keep an eye on that forecast. It could get even worse. There's some really big rain around. And the bias also up in the air. Fair to offer hours bias is the forecast, but they might get out wide after a lot of racing at Randwick. So across the three key factors based on those conditions, look, all of our tips for Saturday are based on a soft Randwick, so keep an eye on that. Check the website on Saturday morning if the conditions do change, theraceguide.com.au, because we always update them on Saturday morning. Position and run's a key factor because of the steady tempo. You want to be close to the pace. And jockey, all the good jockeys are in Melbourne. We have to factor that in on Saturday too.
Yeah, you mentioned having a look at the race guide there. It's going to be key with all that rain around, so do check in. It's theraceguide.com.au and it'll all be up on Friday morning. But look, let's head a look at the market here. It's Gay's big, strong, tough broadside, $2.70 at the top of the market there. That's already some good support. And Costa Line in behind at $4.60. We've got Vassal, one of the other French imports, former French imports I should say, at $5.50 there. And Tower of Song, $8.50. Hipparchus, $9. My Giuliano 10, doesn't stop there, but Broadside well on top.
Yeah, Broadside's the clear favourite, so Broadside's the first replay we've got to have a look at. We look at this improving New Zealand import from the Waterhouse stable. I spent a bit of money on this horse, didn't I? Let's have a look at him last start at Royal Randwick at his home track. He's circled here in the blue, up here on pace. Olympic Academy comes after him. There's a couple of other horses in this race as well. Cramming's in the yellow out the back, My Giuliano out widest. Yeah, Olympic Academy comes after him like we said, but he did lift here, didn't he, Stu?
Yeah, this is what you want to see in one of those Gay Waterhouse. Really tough, really gutsy, and lifted when you really wanted him to as well.
He's not even the most genuine horse there, isn't he? He's sort of laying in, getting challenged here, but just when Olympic Academy looms up to him about here, he gives more. He's probably got two or three more lengths up the sleeve there for sure.
Yeah, he could have kept going, no doubt about that. Well, that was a recent run, and we're going to take you back earlier in the year to Vassal. Well, take us through this one. It's one of Waller's runners and tough coming around the corner again.
Well, yeah, this is the two favourites of the market, the ones we're looking at. This is last prep for Vassal. He's out here in the yellow sleeves, the yellow cap, the one that's just been circled. The thing we like about this race is the big margin back to third from the first two, and the one alongside him, Stu's not a bad horse, is it?
No, look, Toucan Chew really tough up on speed as well, but yeah, this is where they started to clear out, and Toucan Chew went on to some Brisbane winter form as well.
Yeah, group place at his next start, Toucan Chew. Vassal just as good as in there, so you could say Vassal's almost a Group 3 horse based on that run.
Yeah, that's a big gap. We always love that. And look, a couple of these jockeys, as you mentioned, all the big boys down in Melbourne, so a real chance for some of the up-and-comers to get a win here in Sydney.
Well, yeah, let's look at the key factor ratings for these top 8 in the market, and look, it depends what you want to do with his apprentices. Vassal, Andrew Atkins on board. It is a bit of a risk. His winning strike rate of late isn't as good as it used to be, so a low rating for jockey. Tower of Song gets Tim Clark, so a gold bar for that. The soft Randwick, we think Broadside will love it. He's a tough Kiwi. We think Vassal will like it. He's been proven there before. And Costa Line and Tower of Song, they are dry trackers, so watch out for that. And Broadside gets the gold bar for positioning run. He's out in the lead on his own.
Well, a lot of analysis there. We've seen a few of the replays there. And, well, are we matching the boys at the tab? Have we got, is that where we're headed with this race?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the overall ratings, and we're just doing what the tab boys are doing, aren't we? We've got a clear top rater there on Broadside. He's 1.5 back to the rest, and we may as well go straight to the best bet. The 1.5 margin for us is enough to suggest that he's a good enough bet, even at those short odds. So Broadside's the best bet for us. Vassal is the risky one with Andrew Atkins on board. He can win, so for the value bet, definitely a Quinella.
All right, one of Gay's tough horses to start the quaddie is favourite, but we might be getting some value a bit later on. Let's move straight into the second leg of the quaddie. It is the Alconex Fire handicap over the 1,400 metres, and, well, we've got some mares in this race with Daisy Doom, who did us no favours a couple of weeks back. Has she come back after that?
Yeah, we gave a big push for Daisy Doom first up, didn't we? She had a few excuses, but she had a really tough run there. She could have been flattened by that. Let's see how she shapes up in this race on Saturday. Really closely matched mares race. 1,400 metres, fair tempo with a few going forward. Good 4 to soft 6 and fair to off rails we talked about before. So across the three key factors for this particular race, the soft Randwick we've been talking about all day. This is a key factor for us. The distance, the 1,400 metres. Some horses haven't been hitting the line over that distance range. And jockey, once again, like we said before, the better jockeys have the edge.
Well, look, she's no Dixie Blossoms, but she's still very popular. And it's a Dixie Chick that leads the betting, and she's on top there at $3.60. We've got Sought After, very well named by Wanted, at $5 in behind. Daisy Doom, well, what a glittering debut campaign there. We've got Circular in behind at $8, Nasak at $9, and Hermosa Beach support there, 11 into 10 as well. So, look, it is Dixie Chick on top, but there's a lot of runners there, inside the $10 mark.
Yeah, interesting to see Dixie Chick is such a strong favourite there. She was really unlucky last start. We'll have a look at her in her second last campaign in a run. But a few of the runners actually come through a more recent run that we'll look at here, which is a couple of really good strong runs here, and a really good form reference here. Sought After is the one circled in the black and white on pace, kicking really strongly for home. Euro Angel in the orange coming home in second, and Circular Whitest in the Godolphin blue, hitting the line like she always does.
Yeah, well, that's the one that really kept coming, but Gay's horse really lifts here. But look, yeah, Euro Angel you mentioned, that went down and won a really good race last Wednesday, and look, the format of this is really going to stack up.
Yeah, good margins there, group form like Stu just said, so those top four runs are all really good. Even the fourth horse was quite good there too.
Well, that's a really exciting replay to watch, but this other one, Dixie Chick, this is not so much an exciting replay. It's back at Randwick. It's when she was well in the market again, as she is on Saturday. And take us through this replay. Why are we showing this run?
This is not a great run at all, is it, Stu? This is Dixie Chick out the back, well in the market. This is the second time she's failed at Royal Randwick over the 1,400 metres. She was 464 out of this day or something. She's in the blue and white, just been circled. She comes to the outside. You might think she picks up here, but she's never really hit the line over 1,300 metres or 1,400 metres. She was unlucky last start, but it was a firm track 1,200 metre run. Look, she might be a better mare this time, but this is a bit of a worry, Stu, this run.
Yeah, look, punters are really going to have to decide here. 360 short enough, and there's an example of a Randwick run that might get a few people thinking.
Doesn't look like a 360 favourite there, does she?
Not at all. But look, distance is one of those key factors. You've mentioned a few of these really stepping out to their pet distance after a few warm-up runs. Yeah,
so distance is a bit of a risk. Dixie Chick for us, she could be a better mare this prep, like we said, but it is a risk. Circular, Nasak, Hermosa Beach, Heavenly Anna even, all proven at the distance. A soft Randwick. Circular's been running well on a dry track. The soft track, potential soft track's a big plus for her. Hermosa Beach loves it too. But Dixie Chick does have one of the best jockeys in Sydney going around, so she gets the gold bar for that.
Well, a good replay, a not so good replay, and a good look at the analysis, and well, an absolutely stacked field here, as we can see, having a look at the overall ratings. But Dixie Chick's down there in the ruck somewhere, but $8 on top. Circular, thanks for coming.
Well, yeah, straight away you can see she's massive odds. She's right on top, so she's obviously going to be the best bet in a really stacked field, but she's such good odds, you have to go with her. So Circular is our best bet in this race, the second leg of the quaddie. A really strong mare, a really genuine mare, each way all day for her. She's great each way odds, a great play each way. And from the rest, you really have to look for value. Lani Girl at massive odds, not out of this race if they go hard up front, but Heavenly Anna for us, a horse with scope. She's a bit green, but if the jockey rides her well, she can win on Saturday.
Well, so a little bit of value there in the second leg, favourite in the first. That's a first look at the first two legs of the quaddie. We'll just take a short break and be back with legs 3 and 4 after that. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. It's on to leg 3 of the quaddie, and well, look, some of these, I think they've got some group potential. And how about this? A Japanese stayer, Minor Fracchia, in a benchmark 84 at Randwick.
This is a great race. Minor Fracchia is a really genuine Japanese import. They had a couple come out from Japan a couple of years ago, and he's racing really well in Australia. These 4-year-olds, black type form, like you said, Stu. So a cracking race, the second last leg of the quaddie. 1,600 metres, fair tempo with Balmain Boy rolling along. He tends to roll along. Good 4 to soft 6 and fair to off rails we talked about before as far as the forecast conditions on the day. Soft Randwick, key factor for us once again in this race. Keep it on the website just in case it does dry out on Saturday. Position run's a key factor. There is a good spot behind the rolling leader, Balmain Boy, available for one of these jockeys on Saturday. And Genuine Professional, we're looking for which horse is potentially not the most genuine horse on Saturday as well.
Well, Balmain Boy is he's a tough horse. He might have had his chance last start, but he definitely heads the market at $4.60. In behind we've got Happy Hannah. Well, that's a lot of money today. I think in from as much as $7. Great family that is. Sunday Joy, Joie Denise, Denise's Joy, one-time OT Oaks favourite there. We've got More to Gain at $5. We've got a Shell in behind there at $8. Not a Gypsy, a bit of money there too. 11s into 9s. And Falkenberg, some Queensland Derby form there. So, and then Minor Fracchia at 11. So it doesn't stop there. Really open race.
We absolutely, those tab punters aren't stupid on that. Let's look at the replay for Not a Gypsy and see why it's 11 into 9. And I might kind of come in even further. Not a Gypsy is the one that's circled here. first up on a tight turning Warwick Farm track over 1400 metres on a dry track, importantly. SGL's in the Godolphin Blue just inside of him. And Multifacets actually led this day in the yellow hat, but it was the run of the horse coming third that was the real eye catcher, wasn't it, Stu?
Yeah, just in the white hat there, just at the 200 here, only really does get going and, well, blocked and entitled to run, really not entitled to run past SGL, but that's exactly what she did.
Yeah, I had a few bucks on him each way that day and he did really well. It probably wouldn't have won, but the first two horses are really good horses. That's a really strong run.
And another strong race, and we've got to take you back to the autumn here. Two really well-spruiked horses in the autumn, Happy Hannah and Falkenberg. Let's go back to the autumn for this one.
Well, yeah, this was the time in their careers when people didn't know how good they were. Falkenberg's second up this day. She's second up on Saturday. Happy Hannah's third up this day. She's third up on Saturday, so it's a really good replay to look at over the mile. We really found out how good they were this day. There's a massive margin. Moa's the one in the Godolphin Blue just getting beaten off. Happy Hannah impressive, but Falkenberg, no love lost there at all.
No, none at all. As you really watch out the last 25, really picks up late here. So I love the way we can do that. Go back to a replay, show some second up form from back then, some third up form. That's what we're going to look at. And as we have a look to the key factors, and rain around all day potentially, and a few of these just absolutely love a wet track.
Well, a bit of a specky here. Mortigain definitely likes the wet. SGL's been on the wet before. Falkenberg, she's never been on the wet, but you just look at her. She's a more than ready mare. She looks like she's absolutely going to lap it up. A really athletic type. Not a gypsy, loves the soft track as well. Look, Balmain Boy gets the lead on his own with the blinkers on, which is a great plus for him. He gets the gold bar for position and run. The problem for Tim Clark is holding him up. He's a free runner. He goes along at a decent clip, and he's not the most genuine horse. Once you get in front, he can sort of run on the jockey sometimes as well. Minor Freshia, a really genuine type from Japan.
Well, look, as we've had a good look at the replays there, and as we jump across to the overall ratings here, and Not a Gypsy one that you've mentioned there, absolutely love this, mate. We've got another top rater and another big value in $9 on top, and a couple of those popular runners, Balmain Boy and Happy Hannah, right down in the ratings here.
Yeah, stacked market once again. It's going to be a close finish once again, but we've reshuffled the market, which is a great thing for punters to follow. Following the value, Not a Gypsy on top at massive odds. It's 11 into 9. The money could still keep coming for this horse on 51.5 kilograms down the bottom. So Not a Gypsy's got to be the best bet for us each way. If the rain comes, the money will keep coming for this horse. He's a great bet for sure. And Falkenberg, like we said, if it's a soft track on Saturday, she's a great mare. Just out sprinted first up of 1400 metres. Definitely great odds.
Well, great odds is what we need for the quaddie, that's for sure. So there's some more value in leg 3 of the quaddie. And, well, look, let's head to race 4. It doesn't get any easier, that's for sure. A full field, 16 horses, 16 different trainers. Who said there wasn't depth in Sydney racing?
Well, yeah, this is a really open race again, and you thought the last couple of races were really close. You'll see the ratings in a second. This is an absolute lottery. But anyway, handicap, 1400 metres, a fair tempo, good 4 to soft 6 and fair to off rails for this race on Saturday. Keep an eye on those Saturday conditions. Across the 3 key factors, soft Randwick, like we said. Stage of preparation, there's a few different horses that are fresh, a few different horses are third up, ready to peak, so we've got to factor that in. And scope, there's a couple of really lightly raced horses that could improve even further on Saturday despite good recent form.
Yeah, Kandinsky, as you said, scope, only 2 starts, and there we go, scope's always a big factor. But look, jumping into the market, we've got, well, that's Moa on top. There's some money there since I last looked, that's for sure. It's, I think it's in from $6 on the quick back up and in form. Kandinsky, the one we mentioned there, just the 2 starts. We've got Choice we had in behind at $7.50. How about that? 565 days off or 77 weeks before winning first up. So, you know, really interesting to see how he's progressed in this preparation. Dingo Mountain at $9 there and Lucky Fish 11, but look, pretty wide, half the field below, sort of $15 there, and that's a big way to end the quaddie.
Yeah, Moa was fantastic last week, on pace, on a strong tempo. That was a really good run. We're not going to have a look at that. We're going to look at a run with a few of these different horses in the same race. It's always good to look at those replays. Choice we had circled in the red and white. Monpere inside, in the middle of the pack in the pink and white stripes. Never getting any room at all, Stu, is he?
No, not at all. It's Choice we had there. It kept coming, and Monpere, yeah, never got out. I think what I'm going to say here is Timmy Clark had a great view of Il Mio Destino's rump up that straight.
Just followed that mare all the way home. Completely forgive that horse. Put a big red line through that run for sure.
Well, there's another promising run there, but look, another one we're going to show you here. We're going to take you back again. This one's to December 2015, so nearly a whole year ago. A horse that got backed in, 31s into 16. The Joe Pride stable knew what they were doing. Just missed this day, but could be another thing on Saturday. Similar.
Yeah, we've gone way back in the archives for this. I mean, this was the last time White and Time was first up in December 2015. He had such a long preparation last campaign, but proved all of us analysts wrong. He just kept winning. Won a couple of races, but like you said, Stu, 31 into 16. Only just misses here, and the trials this time in have been really, really good, so keep an eye on him for sure.
Yeah, got to look for some of that money, stable money coming again this week for sure. You mentioned Scope, Kandinsky 2 starts as we said, Monpere 4 wins at the Provincials. Take us through that one.
Yeah, so they're the lightly raised types to get a gold bar for Scope. Kandinsky and Monpere both on the way up, both can improve. The soft Randwick, both of those horses also like a soft Randwick, along with Choice We Had, who gets the gold bar as well. And Man of Choice, at the stage of preparation, he's ready to peak. Moher, we're not sure about him. He's third up after a really tough run last week. So keep an eye on him in the yard. He's a horse that could have a flat run on Saturday.
Well, the market says it's pretty wide open. As we look to our overall ratings, well, we just got to predict something here. We've got 4 on top. How can we split the 4-way dead heat there?
Well, yeah, it's all about picking which horse you think is going to get the nose out in front for this last race and going for value. We think Moher will run well if he's fit. Kandinsky's a hard one to go past. But the best bet is My Father, or in French, Mon Père. He's the one that's great each way odds. On a soft track in particular, he's a really tough son of Snitchell. He will be trying hard right to the line. And Wine and Dine. How can you go wrong with those odds after those trials? Keep an eye on the market for sure.
So we're rounding out the big quaddie there with more value in the last. So as we have a look at this quaddie, we're going to start pretty skinny there and one of the favourites in Broadside, but we're going wide.
We're going really wide. And just to say, if you put a $10 all up on all our best bets tonight, it's 30 grand. So maybe get around the quaddie and put that on for sure. But race 6 is the short one for sale and Broadside of the horses with scope. The good stayers on the rise. It should like the Randwick 2,000 metres. Across to race 7. Look, we've gone really, really wide. We've left out the favourite, Dixie Chick. We've put in some long shots like Lani Girl and Shotgun Roulette. They've got good form references to their best. Race 8, 4 really good strong 4-year-olds on the rise. Not a Gypsy we talked about before. And race 9, once again really wide with Mon Père and Wine and Dine the roughies in there for sure.
Well, look, I think the punters have had it the last few weeks, that's for sure, and this could be a real rough day at Randwick. Well, that's what we're forecasting anyway. But look, There's a lot of rain around. You've got to check the race guides. They're all online from 9 a.m. tomorrow, and it's going to be... You've got to look at them. They're going to be updated, and that's the way we play it.
Yeah, soft track or dry track makes a big difference at Randwick, so definitely check the conditions on Saturday.
And look, good luck to Winks and all the connections. Cox Play Day is going to be a fantastic day down there. But look, great day out at Randwick as well. And from us at the Key Factors, it's good night.